Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council to order for May 18th, 2017 at 8:03 p.m. On roll call, council members Churdo.
Here.
Dombrowski.
Here.
Golombek.
Here.
Boncino.
Here.
Work.
Here.
Giandomenico.
Here.
Mayor Coletti.
Here.
We have a quorum. Would everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? O God, our Father, we ask that you bless our meeting, which we entrust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and implant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor, before we begin tonight, you will see on the dais representatives of our Youth Week Council. And at this time, I will turn it over to Mayor Coletti for some comments.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I've been demoted. This pretty young lady here is going to be standing in this evening as the mayor, and there seems to be a long line of people who want to be mayor. So welcome to the club. It's a great night for Elmwood Park. We get to share some experiences that we have as a council with the youth of Elmwood Park, which is our future, and it's nice to see that we have some youngsters here that would like to get a feel for government. But let me say this to you, try and pick another profession. This is a tough profession. In any case, somebody's got to do it, so if you do decide to do it, hopefully tonight you will gain some experience that will forge ahead for you in your future.
Mayor, at this time, we'll have the student mayor read the statement of compliance.
Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of every meeting a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now, therefore, be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting have been met by publishing an annual meeting notice in the Record of Hackensack and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 5th, 2017. I just want to remind everyone that the meetings are broadcasted on Cablevision's Channel 77 on Tuesdays at noon, Thursdays at 4 p.m., and on Fridays at 11 a.m. The meeting videos are also available on our borough website at www.elmwoodparknj.us.
Mayor, at this time, I'd like to introduce the members of our youth council who are here tonight. We have our mayor, Ileana Natal. We have, sitting in for Councilman Dombrowski, Sebastian Lidwin, and we have with us Aline Takavorian, who is sitting in for Councilman Work. With that, Mayor, we'll begin with the approval of minutes for the May 4th, 2017 executive session.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Council President John Domenico and seconded by Council Churdo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Any opposed?
Oh, I just have to abstain, I was absent.
Abstention from
You could take a roll call.
So noted.
Mr. Vancino.
So noted. At this time, we'll move on to presentations, and I would like to call forward Mayor Coletti and our student stand-in, along with Councilman Vancino, to present a proclamation for EMS Week. Mayor Coletti.
Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we'd like to take the time and acknowledge the hard work of our ambulance corps. You're all well appreciated. So don't think anything else or otherwise. This young lady is going to give this proclamation to you. Can we call the representatives up here, please? Pete?
Whereas Elmwood Park Volunteer Ambulance Corps, one of New Jersey's few, all volunteer and fully certified emergency medical technicians. And whereas, since its inception in 1964, the Volunteer Ambulance Corps has served our borough. And whereas the Volunteer Ambulance Corps help, rescue, and transport residents and those who work, visit, or shop in our community. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the entire community join in publicly expressing gratitude and appreciation to all their members, and be it further proclaimed by the power vested in me in the state of New Jersey as the mayor of the borough in Elmwood Park, that the week of May 18th be proclaimed EMS Week in honor of all the members of Elmwood Park Volunteer Ambulance Corps.
And once again, we thank you very much for your service.
No, just pick the ones you want.
Mayor, moving on, we have multiple ordinances on first reading tonight. R 187-17, introduce ordinance 17-21 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to amend Chapter 3 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Police Regulations by amending Section 3-8.1 thereof, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on June 15th, 2017, at 8 p.m. or soon thereafter, as same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper, a notice of introduction and final hearing is required by law.
Can I have a motion to introduce the ordinance?
So moved.
Second. Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Von Chino and seconded by Council Dombrowski. All in favor?
Actually, we'll take a roll call on that, Mayor. Councilmembers Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Golombek,
Yes.
Bonsino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Jan Domenico.
Yes.
Motion carries.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Pretend you're in high school.
I'm getting more gray hair.
Resolution R 188-17, introduce ordinance 17-22 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 34 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Zoning and Planning Site Plan Review be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, June 15th, 2017, at 8 p.m. or soon thereafter, as same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance may be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Can I have a motion to introduce the ordinance?
So moved.
Work?
Second.
Okay.
Work.
Motion was made by Councilman Work and seconded by Council President John Domenico. Any opposed?
Any discussion?
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Councilmembers Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Vansino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay. Also on introduction tonight, we have Resolution 189-17, introduce ordinance 17-23 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Fix the Salary, Wage, Compensation of the Officers, Employees, and Servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey for calendar year 2016 be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, June 15th, 2017, at 8 p.m. or soon thereafter, as same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Can I have a motion to introduce the ordinance?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Churdo and seconded by Councilman Vansino. Any opposed? Call a roll call, please.
Okay, Mayor, just to note for the council members' edification, this is being reintroduced from the last meeting. We needed to put special session rates in for our court personnel. That's the only change to this ordinance. On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Monsino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll move on to ordinances on second reading. Resolution 190-17, introduce ordinance 17-16 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Fix the Salary, Wage, and Compensation of the Employees of the Department of Public Works in the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, from January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2019. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, April 20th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Fix the Salary, Wage, and Compensation of the Employees of the Department of Public Works in the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, from January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2019, pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open the hearing to the public.
Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was by Councilman Dombrowski and seconded by Councilman Work to open the floor for public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Does anyone from the public wish to speak about this ordinance? If no one wishes to speak, I will close the public portion.
At this time, Mayor will need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Can I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Council President John Domenico and seconded by Councilman Work. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Vansino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay. Our second ordinance on second reading is Resolution 191-17, introduce ordinance 17-17 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled A Bond Ordinance to authorize the acquisition of new, additional, or replacement equipment and machinery, and a new fire rescue vehicle, and a new automotive vehicle, including original apparatus and equipment, in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park, the County of Bergen, the State of New Jersey, to appropriate a sum thereof of $336,200 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such an appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in the anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, April 20th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in the ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled a bond ordinance to authorize the acquisition of new additional or replacement equipment and machinery and a new fire rescue vehicle and a new automotive vehicle, including original apparatus and equipment, each by for the Borough of Elmwood Park and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, and to appropriate a sum of $336,200 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such an appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in the anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. Pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
So moved. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Second.
Motion was by Councilman Bonsino and seconded by Councilman Dombrowski to open the floor for public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Does anyone from the public wish to speak about this ordinance? If no one wishes to speak, I will close the public portion.
Okay, at this time, Mayor will need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Can I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Work and seconded by Council President John Domenico. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, council members Churdo,
I'll be recusing myself from this process.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Golombek,
Yes.
Bonsino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Giandomenico?
Yes.
Motion carries. Our next ordinance on second reading, excuse me, is Resolution 192-17, introduce ordinance 17-18 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Traffic by amending Sections 2-12 thereof, and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, April 20th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Traffic by amending Sections 7-12 thereof pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
Make a motion?
Second.
Motion was by Councilman Churdo and seconded by Councilman Bonsino to open the floor for public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Does anyone from the public wish to speak about this ordinance? If no one wishes to speak, I will close the public portion.
Mayor will need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Can I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion was made by Councilman Dombrowski and seconded by Councilman Work. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, council members Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Golombek,
Yes.
Bonsino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next on second reading, we have Resolution 193-17, introduce ordinance 17-19 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Traffic by amending Ordinance 7-14 thereof, and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, April 20th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Traffic by amending Ordinance 7-14 thereof pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Motion was by Council President John Domenico and seconded by Councilman Churdo to open the floor for public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Does anyone from the public wish to speak about this ordinance? If no one wishes to speak, I will close the public portion.
Mayor will need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Can I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Bonsino and seconded by Councilman Dombrowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, council members Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Golombek,
Yes.
Bonsino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. And finally, on second reading tonight, we have Resolution 194-17, introduce ordinance 17-20 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled a bond ordinance to authorize underground storage tank removal and environmental remediation at the Department of Public Works Yard in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $209,000 to pay the cost thereof and to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such an appropriation, to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, April 20th, 2017, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled a bond ordinance to authorize underground storage tank removal and environmental remediation at the Department of Public Works Yard in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $209,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such an appropriation, to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in the anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was by Councilman Work and seconded by Council President John Domenico to open the floor for public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Does anyone from the public wish to speak about this ordinance? If no one wishes to speak, I will close the public portion.
Mayor will need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Can I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Churdo and seconded by Councilman Voncino. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Solobek,
Yes.
Monsino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, moving on to the consent agenda tonight, we have Resolution 195-17, payment of bills, Resolution 196-17, payment of escrow, Resolution 197-17, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 198-17, resolution supporting the Click It or Ticket mobilization of May 22nd, 2017 through June 4th, 2017. Resolution 199-17, authorize the execution of a shared services agreement between the Borough and the Borough of Elmwood Park and the Elmwood Park Board of Education for the morning and aftercare program. Resolution 200-17, a person-to-person liquor license transfer license number 0211-33-009. Resolution 201-17, a resolution authorizing emergency repairs for replacement of the force main on the Market Street Bridge. Resolution 202-17, award proposal for survey services to Alimo Engineering. Resolution 203-17, authorized purchase of vehicle in the police department. Resolution 204-17, authorized current estimate 2 and final and change order 1 for the improvements to Summit Avenue, North Street, Franklin Street, and Wall Ave. Resolution 205-17, authorized current estimate number 2 and final and change order number 1 for the 2016 road program. Resolution 206-17, appoint volunteer firefighter, company number 4, Daniel Wagner. Resolution 207-17, appoint firefighter in company number 3, John Rubino. Resolution 208-17, authorize emergency pump repair at pump station number 3. Resolution 209-17, authorize execution of agreement for phone service with Spectrotel. Resolution 210-17, confirming resolution for a door-to-door fundraising opportunity for fire company number 2. Resolution 211-17, release road opening performance bond, 19 Opal Avenue. Resolution 212-17, a resolution to execute elevator inspection services contract with Municipal Inspection Corporation. Resolution 213-17, redeem third-party tax lien 185 East 54th Street. Resolution 214-17, redeem third-party tax lien at 6 Beach Street. Resolution 215-17, appoint school security officer Anthony Sylvester. Resolution 216-17, a resolution authorizing the inclusion in the Bergen County Community Development Program. Resolution 217-17, a resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement with the County of Bergen to supersede the cooperative agreement dated July 1st, 2000, and amendments thereto establishing Bergen County Community Development Grant Funds. And Resolution 218-17, a resolution to accept the consent agenda. Mayor will need a motion.
Can I have a motion to approve this consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Dombrowski and seconded by Councilman Work to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Bonsino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
And finally, Mayor, we have departmental reports this evening. Library Board minutes from March 20th, 2017. Finance Department report for April 2017. A Recreation Department report for April 2017. Police Department report for April of 2017. And the Municipal Court report for April of 2017. We'll need a motion to receive and file.
Can I have a motion to approve the departmental reports?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Council President John Domenico and seconded by Councilman Churdo to approve the departmental reports. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Golubek,
Yes.
Bonsino,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Mayor, that concludes my portion of the meeting.
Councilman Work, what is your report for tonight?
First, I would like to congratulate. First, I would like to congratulate all junior council candidates here tonight. It's an honor to serve with them. As we celebrate EMS Week, I'm glad that we had an opportunity to recognize our loyal and dedicated members of our Elmwood Park Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Not only do they save lives, but they save our residents incremental tax dollars. Tomorrow, May 19th, they will be having a bus trip to Sands Casino in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Cost of the trip is $30 per person. Will receive $25 back in cash voucher and a $5 food coupon. The bus leaves Elmwood Park Recreation Center parking lot at 10 a.m. sharp and returns at 7:30 p.m. For all reservations, call Linda Colombini 201-966-7649. The monthly homeowners meeting will be next Wednesday, May 24th, starting at 7:30 p.m. in the Elmwood Park Senior Center located at the corner of Market Street and Mola Boulevard. I look forward to seeing all the residents at our annual Memorial Day Parade as we honor our veterans and this year's Grand Marshal, Ryan Kidd.
The Elmwood Park Sports League's updates are, the EP Little League Baseball and EP Girls Softball Leagues are ongoing. Both seasons have been delayed due to rainy weather the past 4 Saturdays, but it looks like the weather is warming up and there's a good chance to make up these games with upcoming good weather. EP Crew Spring Soccer season is moving along. The EP Summer Camp registration is still ongoing. Summer camp fees are $400 per child for Elmwood Park residents and $500 per child for non-residents. All summer camp trips are planned. All trips must be paid for at the time of registration. EP Recreation also offers an aftercare program, which is 3 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. for $250, and an extended summer camp, which runs August 14th to the 18th for $200. Over 100 children have signed up for summer camp up to this date, 83 residents and 21 non-residents. And this is the flyer for that here. And then for more information, you can always call 201-796-1457, extension 350. The Hoops for High School registration has finished, and there are four high schools that will play for 8 weeks on Monday nights. 2 games will be played every Monday night. The Elmwood Park Recreation Department will be holding its annual Community Day on Saturday, June 3rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Come down to enjoy the rides, the spray park, and food. Come to meet the various businesses, organizations, and residents of Elmwood Park. And this is the flyer for that. And then the Elmwood Park VFW Post 5084 will be holding its annual fishing tournament on June 10th at the Elmwood Park Marina on River Road from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The entry fee is $10. First, second, and third place trophies will be awarded for each age group. The ribbon cutting ceremony will be held for the grand opening of the new Cherry Hill Playground on May 20th at 11 a.m. The construction of the new hockey rink was started last Thursday at Borough Field, the paving operation. The addition of the dasher boards will be added this week, and the coating of the playing surface will be completed in approximately 2 weeks. The work on Birchwood and Gall Avenue parks will continue throughout the summer. And this is the fire department report. The Elmwood Park Fire Department will be holding its Memorial Day ceremony at the Elmwood Park Fire Department Memorial on Linden Avenue at 10 o'clock a.m. prior to the Memorial Day Parade. Coffee will be available at the Engine/Rescue Co. Company, number 1, on 18 Grove Street prior to the Memorial Day service, and hot dogs will be available at Engine/Rescue number 2 on Parkview Avenue after the Memorial Day parade. The Elmwood Park Defender Company number 2 will be holding a coin toss event on June 3rd on the corner of the Mola Boulevard and Route 4 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The rain date for the coin toss will be the following Saturday, June 10th, at the same time and place. I would also like to welcome the new volunteers to the Elmwood Park Fire Department, Daniel Wagner to Fire Company number 4, and John Rubino to Fire Company number 3. Progress.
Councilman Bonsina, what is your report for tonight?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, we're working from these color-coded agendas, so the one thing I conclude is I think I'm colorblind. And then other than the extra 40 pounds and all the gray hair, I'm happy to represent Elmwood Park class of 1979 tonight. To start, at our last public meeting, we introduced first reading a capital appropriation request to purchase new emergency apparatus. And while I voted in the affirmative, I did have some questions about it that I felt we needed to work through. So a subset of the governing body met with the leadership of the fire department this week, and we went through all their requests, their priorities, and their needs, and we came to some agreements on how to structure the capital and the acquisitions. So I was happy to approve the second reading tonight, and I'm glad that's going forward. This past Saturday evening, members of the governing body attended the Ambulance Corps' Western Night fundraiser. It was a great evening of fun, food, and friendship, but more importantly, it served to recognize these volunteer first responders and the important work they do for our community. The Corps leadership took the opportunity that evening to recognize members who responded to the most calls or who had contributed to CPR saves. To all the members of the Ambulance Corps, they were here earlier, thank you. And to our residents, with EMS Week upon us, please support the Corps by contributing to their fundraising efforts, and if at all possible, look for a way to consider volunteering your time. In the consent agenda, I'd like to bring to your attention Resolution 198-17, the Click It or Ticket mobilization planned for May 22nd through June 4th. Recognizing that there were over 600 motor vehicle fatalities in 2016, with a large percentage attributed to occupants not using seatbelts, our police department is using the unofficial start of summer to raise awareness with the ultimate goal of increasing seatbelt usage, thereby saving lives. So buckle up this weekend and always. As we proceed through the month of May, I'd like to congratulate all of our residents who earn bachelor's or advanced degrees at their respective college commencements. As you advance in your careers, I wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. The beginning of the month, I traveled to Alabama for my youngest son's college graduation and his Army commissioning. While this was an important family milestone, what I wanted to mention tonight is that in May 2017, thousands of young men and women will accept commissions in the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard, and serve as officer leaders in defense of our nation. In a little over a week, we'll commemorate Memorial Day. With Memorial Day marks the unofficial start of summer, but please take a moment to remember all those in our armed forces that made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we share.
Thank you. Councilman Golombek, what is your report for tonight?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and good evening, everyone. I'd like to start off with the Board of Health. On May 9th, the Board of Health had its monthly meeting, dealt with a lot of routine business and inspections. So in terms of the monthly meeting, there's nothing major to report. Yesterday, on May 17th, the County Board of Health held a rabies vaccination at Firehouse 4. As many of us know, all dogs and cats in the community must be vaccinated. Yesterday, 47 dogs and 6 cats were vaccinated, and 28 dog licenses were issued, as well as 6 cat licenses. For those who haven't done it yet, this time of the year, they should have, so please get that done. And there may possibly be another clinic towards the end of the year. I just want to thank the Elmwood Park Ambulance Corps. If you guys could pass the message along, thank them for their service. I think in many cases they are the underappreciated of the emergency services that we have in our community. And many times it goes over our heads that the Elmwood Park Ambulance Corps could respond to a call as opposed to a private company, and the costs that the homeowners are saving probably goes to the tune of millions in a year that our ambulance corps is saving the taxpayers, and many who do not truly realize the details in the moment of crisis. So we thank them for their service and their effort to the community. And with that, Mayor, progress.
Thank you. Councilman Trudeau, what is your report for tonight?
Okay, in the world of the Department of Public Works, the past month, 34 emergency markouts for water and sewer systems were recorded, as well as gas leaks and ordinary calls. The last 13 days, there's been hydrant flushing, and they were notified that 18 hydrants were found that needed to be repaired or replaced. As of today, only 13 still need to be repaired and replaced. In regards to the parks, trash is being cleaned up on a daily basis throughout the parks. The ball fields are being repaired as needed. They've been assembling park benches, anything that needs in that area. Don't forget that the grass pickup, if it's in a plastic bag, it might be grass product, but it's not going to be picked up. So please don't put anything in a plastic bag. And don't forget that if you want to get a lid, put a lid on your can, just so that when it rains, it's not going to be too heavy for the guys to lift. Potholes have been repaired in the last, since April 15th, 15 tons of asphalt, I think it's 15 tons of asphalt has been placed down to fulfill the repair of potholes. Just going through a couple more. The monuments and Veterans Monument, they reorganized the flower beds so that they're better accommodating to the to passerbyers in regards to the two benches that are there, so that if you're sitting, you can take in the atmosphere down there. They did the mulch by the Firemen's Memorial, the Police Monument, planted flowers, all the beds and the shrubs around the municipal building, all to get ready for Memorial Day Parade. Thank you.
Thank you. Council President John Domenico, what is your report for tonight?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As Councilman Boncino mentioned previously, on Tuesday night, myself, Councilman Boncino, and Councilman Wark met with the Fire Department Chief, Bill Shadwell, and Assistant Chief, Mike Sulik, and I'd like to thank them for the opportunity of meeting with me. I particularly had additional questions in regards to the bond and the purchase of the apparatus because I wasn't here. I was on maternity leave during that meeting. So we all sat together and spoke about what was originally requested versus the current needs and the future operations of the fire department, and it was a great meeting that we ended up having, so I thank them for that. The next Board of Ed meeting will take place on May 23rd with their work session at 6:30 and their public meeting starting at 8 p.m. And also, you could still register your child for kindergarten or regular registration on June 5th between 9 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. or 1 and 3 p.m. Other than that, you would have to wait till do it July 10th and onward, right before school starts. I attended last Saturday the Western Night that was held by the Ambulance Corp, and they did a great job. They had over 100 community members in attendance, and it was great to see such a turnout and support for them, especially in the season spirit of National EMS Week. They provide a lot of security to our residents and to others where they respond in a very chaotic situation. So thank you for your quick life-saving actions and providing outstanding services to those in our community. And now that the weather has finally gotten nicer or really hot, I just wanted to speak to, Councilman Boncino spoke about ticketing, a resolution about click it or ticket, but I also wanted to remind everybody, if you could just pay attention while you're driving, because you just see it more and more. Everybody's texting while they're driving, and I take my daughters, for example, to the park in the afternoon. I see so many people not pay attention, and all it takes is a split second for that ball to run out into the street and for that child not to pay attention and run. So we as adults that are driving should be the ones that put a little more vigilant into driving. And with Memorial Day less than 2 weeks away, I'd like to take the time to salute and thank those who gave their ultimate sacrifice, their lives for our freedoms. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Borough Attorney, what is your report for tonight?
I have no report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. On April 22nd, I, along with council members, attended girls' softball opening day ceremonies. Although the weather wasn't perfect, it was a grand occasion. Kudos go out to Brenda and Bob Hoffman for their 40-plus years of commitment to the Elmwood Park Girls Softball League, which is second to none. On April 29th, I met with a group of volunteers from the charity organization Rebuild Together, who are refurbishing a house in Elmwood Park at no cost to the homeowner. This group has helped residents nationally, including victims of Hurricane Sandy and Hurricane Katrina. If there is anyone out there who needs their home rehabilitating help due to financial restraints, call the mayor's office at 201-796-1833. In order to qualify, there are certain financial criteria you must meet. Last week, I spoke with the police administrator of Patterson relating to the ongoing loud music complaints coming from their park that borders Route 20 in Patterson. He stated that when noise complaints come into his station, available units are dispatched to summon and remove from the park those who are violating their noise ordinance. He went on to say that the surrounding park homes in Patterson are up in arms about the noise also. We concluded jointly to be vigilant and not rest until the problem is resolved. Regarding JIF, our joint insurance fund, all is well. There are no earth-shattering events to report. Our hearts go out to Bill Schwind and his family who recently lost his wife, Edith. She was a lovely lady. May she rest in peace. That concludes my report. Mr. Kazmark.
Mayor, at this time, we'll need a motion to open the floor to the public.
Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Council President John Domenico and seconded by Councilman Sherdo to open the floor for public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone who wishes to speak? Please state your name and address for the record. Also, please direct any questions or comments to me.
Mr. Nestori?
George Nestori, 2 Sabo Court. I'd like to commend the students. They did a very, very nice job, and they're the future of this country. And when you see these types of students, we're proud of them, especially that they come out of Elmwood Park. I just have a couple of questions I'd like to pose. One, on Market Street, where the train tracks go across by the CVS, they park their train there. That's an eyesore. It's unbelievably bad. And this is the main part of town, and people riding through see this ugly sight. And I, would like to see, the mayor and council at least address it to the, what do you call it, the New Jersey Department of Transportation, and tell them that, the town doesn't deserve that kind of a site. That's number one. Number two, coming down East 54th Street, that old deli that's closed, Bob,
Yeah.
I noticed some really bad graffiti.
Get in the mic, George.
I've noticed some really bad graffiti on the side of the wall, talking about gangs and stuff like that. I think that should be painted over, immediately.
Is it visual from East 44th Street?
Oh, yeah, when you come
54th
down,
Street.
when you come down from Route 4, Bob, and going south, you see it right, the whole wall. It's really, really a bad sight. It's new. I mean, I didn't see that before.
Through you, Mayor, this act of vandalism was committed last evening. The police department, in addition to the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, was on the scene for most of the day today conducting an investigation.
I can't hear you too well.
I said the act of vandalism was committed last evening, and throughout most of the day today, the Elmwood Park Police Department and the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office investigated that vandalism. We have made attempts to contact the property owner to correct the situation. If it is not, the borough will do it on behalf of the property owner, and it will be expedited.
That's good. Okay. And the third thing, I noticed that the sweeper coming through at periodic times, I think that's great. Is there going to be a sign posted saying no parking, like from so to so on Tuesday, we'll say? For like that little period of, because most towns have, the designated times for the roads to be
I'm
swept?
going to let Councilman Churchill answer that.
Yes, there'll be posted signs throughout the district that's going to be piloting the alternate side ordinance.
All right, that's good. All right, thank you.
Thank you, George, good to
Okay.
see you.
Does anyone else care to speak? Okay, if not, I will close the public portion. Okay. Can I have a motion to close the public portion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Voncino and seconded by Councilman Dombrowski to close the public portion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I will close the public portion. I just want to remind everyone that the meetings are broadcasted on Cablevision's Channel 77 on Tuesdays at noon, Thursdays at 4 p.m., and on Fridays at 11 a.m. The meeting videos are also available on our borough website at www.elmwoodparknj.us. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Work and seconded by Council President John Domenico to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Meeting adjourned.